I don't know a lot about finances, but I know a circle jerk when I see one.
Open for business this week. The thrift store chain's new location is located at 17th Street near the old Kmart building. It will employ 105 associates and 14 staff employees.
And they kind of rescuing your deep inside, what's in you, and they pull it out.
I thought we were going to change the world, and we just grew the bank account.
Hey everybody, it's Katie and 1,000 Reasons Why Not, bringing you yet another reason why not. If you enjoy this video, please leave me a like and subscribe for more reasons why not. On to the video. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a big one, which I guess is why their name is so big. I will be referring to this church respectfully as the LDS Church to save time, and disrespectfully as the Mormon Church, because I think that these distinctions are arbitrary and really just more of a PR move on the part of the church anyway. I don't think there's a legitimate reason to not call them Mormons, except that it's got kind of a derogatory connotation to it now, and one of the church leaders at some point recently has said that they would rather be called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and not Mormons, because I think he said it doesn't have the name Jesus Christ in that name. So they don't like being called LDS either, but I think that's closer to what they want now than Mormon. So that's what we're going with. So what started as a fringe group of like 50 people, or maybe a little more, is now a Goliath. According to the church, there are 350 temples now worldwide. And they say they have over 17.2 million members. That wasn't a very good whistle. Founded in New York State by Joseph Smith in 1830, as the religion grew and stepped on toe after toe after toe, they needed to move a lot, from New York to Ohio to Missouri to Illinois. Oh, kitty cat playing with the phone, sorry. Yeah, you can play with that, baby. They needed to move a lot from New York to Ohio, Missouri, and then Illinois, which is where Joseph Smith died, very unheroically, before they finally landed in their current asylum of Utah, which they actually assisted the United States government in colonizing, and we won't get into that here. They originally wanted to name the state, or their territory that they were being gifted, Deseret, but the U.S. government denied them that and named it Utah after, I think, the Ute Indians. Don't quote me on that. I think the Ute Indians that lived there, which was nice, since they were murdering so many Indians. If you look up the meaning of Deseret on Google, you'll find a whole bunch of Mormon sources. Ooh, watch out, kitty, wait. She is going through a stage right now where she just wants to eat everything all the time. Yeah, maybe we should get you some food. Let me finish my thought first. You're going to find a lot of Mormon sources saying the same thing, that Deseret means honeybee, and that the source of this is the Book of Mormon, the book of, I don't know how it's pronounced, Ether, I guess? Ether? The Book of Ether? Where it describes Jared and his family leaving Jerusalem, I guess, before the Babylonian captivity that's mentioned in the Bible. And they're getting ready to leave, and they're packing stuff up, and it says that they bring Deseret with them, and then which by interpretation is a honeybee. is what the quote says. It says that they brought swarms of bees to America, according to this source. The only problem is it seems to be the only example of this word ever existing, which there's a word for that where it only shows up in one source. And there doesn't seem to be any other sources of it. There's some contention amongst, Mormon scholars of like maybe it came from ancient Hebrew or ancient Egyptian. They have reasons for this that I don't think the word ever existed. I think that old Joey Smith made it up, is what I think. And it's a nice sounding word, but anyway, what matters, that it doesn't really matter because it's a made up word, right? But what does matter is that it has a specific meaning to Mormons. The honeybee, and therefore the beehive, the homes of the honeybees, and the community that entails, all working together for this hive, are sacred symbols to Mormon believers. In their mind, they conceptualize their religion itself as a beehive. They're all like little bees, little busy bees, buzz, buzz, buzz. Busy bees who all have jobs, and they all do these jobs like joyfully and gleefully because they are doing it for God and like for their own salvation, their own afterlife experience. They all exist within this hive in like a specific hierarchy based on the needs of the hive and like your calling in the church being like your specific job. And you don't really move out of that too much, I don't think. Volunteering, tithing, sharing your testimony with others are all, I think, seen as kind of works that kind of you add to your holiness level. It raises up your holiness level, because in the Mormon belief system, in the afterlife, there are actual levels, hierarchies of heaven, that where you go depends on like how righteous you were according to like the Mormon the rules, so Mormon standards, I guess. And that this is a work that uplifts the entire church, like the work of the bee uplifts the entire hive, right? But the more entrepreneurial or well-to-do LDS members, along with the leaders of the church, are expected to feed the hive in a different way. Did you know that the Mormon church owns businesses? According to Brandon Young in his article, Follow the Prophet, he estimates at least 100 or so companies. These can be split into two categories: for-profit and non-profit. The for-profit companies include Deseret News, started early in the Mormon diaspora. Diaspora? Can I say diaspora? It's kind of a Jewish thing, but with everything else that they've appropriated that are Jewish things, in order to communicate Mormon news to Mormons all around the world. And City Creek Shopping Center, which the church kind of got dragged for like bailing them out. Although they didn't call it a bailout, they called it an investment.
I thought I was going to work for a charity. I thought that's what my skills were going to do, was help build a charity and do good with things. And the funds were never used for that. It was really a clandestine hedge fund.
A clandestine hedge fund?
Yeah.
How so?
Those funds weren't used the way they were appropriated to be used.
So how were they being used?
Well, once the money went in, it didn't go out.
Did any of your former bosses explain how the money was going to be used one day?
The answer was always the second coming. And it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. But deep down, I think a lot of the employees really did believe that.
Publicly, church leaders called it a rainy day fund. But in 2013, Nielsen says one of his bosses shared this document at a meeting that showed $1.4 billion from the fund went to a mall being built on land owned by the church. And $600 million was used to prop up a for-profit church-owned insurance company called Beneficial Life. And so when they gave this money to bail out a for-profit venture. What was your reaction?
What are we doing? Like, how is this okay?
It's not just incorrect, it's flat out wrong.
Christopher Waddell says David Nielsen didn't have a full picture of Ensign Peak. Waddell is one of 3 church bishops who oversees finances.
As a Christian church, we believe that someday Jesus Christ will return, but that's not why we have those resources. It's for the continuing operation and for the future.
David Nielsen alleged that Ensign Peak violated its tax-exempt status by directing money to church businesses. How would you characterize how that money was used?
The church actually owned Beneficial Life, and fortunately, the church had the resources to bail out Beneficial Life during the financial crisis, 2008, 2009.
In the mall?
The mall was not a bailout. The mall was an investment. The mall was not a bailout. The mall was an investment.
And you are receiving returns on that
absolutely.
investment.
Yeah, it was an investment.
What about, the idea that secrecy builds mistrust?
Well, we don't feel it's being secret. We feel it's being confidential.
What's the difference?
The difference is, I guess it's point of view.
The nonprofits are what I found the most interesting. Most nonprofits are set up to give to those in need without expecting anything in return, right? But we should all be getting the feeling by now that this particular church doesn't do anything that it doesn't expect to receive a return on. One such nonprofit organization is Beehive Clothing, and they make all of the temple garments or temple clothes and the magic underwear, the holy underwear that protects you from Satan. Do you guys know that all of those Mormons who have temple recommends and go to temple and stuff like that, they're probably all wearing Mormon underwear all the time. That's why they wear what they wear, is because it covers a lot, especially on women. And so, it's kind of like a forced modesty thing. If you don't want everybody to see your undies, you have to wear a shirt or a dress that covers them. It's like bloomers almost, and like a tank top. And even though Beehive Clothing is a manufacturer and temple goers must purchase the items with their own money, it is presented to us in the form of a nonprofit. It's a little bit like, I don't know, maybe it's not like that, but it's making me think of Alexa Nicola's Eat Predators. They're in kind of some hot water or whatever, and I've just heard it mentioned by people who know a lot about it that it was originally started by a group, not just her, and they wanted it to be a nonprofit, like a protest organization, and she kind of took it and made her own for-profit little company, podcast company thing. Kind of sneaky. I guess people aren't very happy about that, and I don't blame them. Especially if she kind of jacked the company from them. But that's neither here nor there. That's totally separate thought. I thought of it for some reason. Another well-known Latter-day Saint nonprofit is Deseret Industries, which is kind of the focus of today's video. You'll see why. You'll see why I wanted to talk about it, or why I thought it was weird. I think it's genuinely a circle jerk. We'll get to it. Not sponsored. Deseret Industries is a nonprofit thrift store and donation center that is owned and operated by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But it was actually established back in 1938 as a job training center, and it still is that to this day. The stated mission of DI is to help those enrolled in the program by providing work, along with training and education, removal of confidence and language barriers. Whoa, you okay over there? You okay, Mystery? Okay, she's okay. Ultimately, helping people to get better jobs / careers.
Your donations to Deseret Industries support a training program that gives people like Edith a second chance.
Sometimes you see DI as, okay, just a drop center, you drop your stuff off, but that's just not it. I went into DI every day to learn, as a training center, and they give you opportunities, They help me to see the possibilities where they walk me through telephone conversation or the language, the typing skills, everything they gave me. It helped me a lot. They really reach to you, and they kind of rescuing your deep inside, what's in you, and they pull it up.
If you've ever dropped off a box of books or clothes and wondered what good it does, now you know.
I love my life now. Thank you to DI.
Well, that sounds awesome. what a nice thing to do for people who are struggling. As of 2023, there are 46 stores in the Western United States. So if you live in that region, you might be interested in the opportunity. But who is even allowed to partake in this amazing opportunity? We hire for the following positions. These are the jobs available. Part-time associates who are enrolled in our job training program. So you have to enroll in the job training program. And full-time staff members, including operational supervisors, assistant store managers, and store managers. If you're interested in applying to become an associate, you contact your nearest Deseret Industries store. If you're interested in a staff position, search for available openings on the employment page of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I think that means you probably already have to have at least an account with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints official website to even access the employment page, but maybe not. But you would definitely have to be interested in working in a job related to that church if the employment page is on their church website. Are you following me? Now the question is, do I have to be a member of the LDS Church to work as an associate at Deseret Industries? It says part-time associates do not need to be members of the church to be employed at DI. However, you will need a referral from a bishop of the church. So I'm trying to imagine like anybody in the community wanting to work there so bad that they would go into a church that they don't belong to talk to a bishop, of a religion that they're not a part of, to get this referral, and how well that would even go over. I don't know. It's just funny to imagine. And then it says if you need help determining the bishop in your area, you can contact them for help. I'm just not sure what that would even look like. I would guess, I don't know for sure, but I would guess that you would have to be at least an upstanding citizen from a Mormon perspective for them to give you that referral, but I don't know. Okay, so you have to already be a member or somehow be able to get the approval of a bishop to enroll in the training or to work at all at the company. The reason that I wanted to talk about this, the thing that's so weird to me, I guess, the thing that's in my head is I have this picture of a bunch of well-off LDS members paying big, fat 10% tithes to the church. And then the less well-off, struggling members, their 10% is, are you alright over there? She keeps falling off the back of the chair. The less well-off, struggling members, their 10% is necessarily going to be a lot smaller and maybe even measly by Mormon standards. Do you know what I mean? So I see Deseret Industries lifting these lowlier members up financially, kind of where everyone else is, on par with the fat cats. So it may just be me, but it seems like the church just enriching itself because, like I said, they're the ones giving and everything, but they're not just receiving from Mormons. Anyone can donate to this organization. It presents itself as a charitable organization that, unless you read the frequently asked questions, you wouldn't know that they're only helping members or friends of the church in some way, but anyone can donate to it. So it's just like they're taking in a charity organization to enrich itself even more. I mean, they have more money than God, but I guess they need that. For some reason, they need it at the second coming. Jesus, the moneylender's table flipper guy. I guess you need money at the second coming. Every member who receives help from the church will certainly be more likely to stay there. And as their economic situation improves, their little 10% gets bigger and bigger. This church is not giving away anything like a charity. This, like everything else they do, is an investment. I hope that you enjoyed this little mini dive into... Well, hi, Kawasaki. Hi, girl. Hi. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini dive into LDS yucky financial stuff. I will link the full 60 minutes video and that Follow the Prophet article down in the description box down below if you want to explore them some more. Anyway, I hope you all have an incredible day. Get some fresh air, drink some water, and don't join a cult. I love you so much. Bye.
But how do you know if they're spending 2 or 3% of assets if we don't know what the assets are?
We have to rely on them behaving well.
Mormon-owned thrift shop called Deseret Industries.